Bitcoin is at a crucial resistance, but don't worry, Block Party's got you covered. Hello, welcome to Big Energy, a 100% automated copy trading bot fully managed by the Block Party trading team. It's exclusively available on Mizar, and if you want to get access, just head on over to Mizar.ai, check out the marketplace, and we're right there. If you want a truly set and forget experience with automated trading, then this is for you. There is no monthly subscription. We only get paid if we win. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us grow and bring you more awesome content. Enough yapping, let's get into those trades. As always, team, we're going to start out our day with looking at Bitcoin and what it's doing, where it's going, and we can potentially see what kind of trades we're going to be doing from that. And how is it looking? Well, the macro analysis over the past few days has been bearish, so no surprising that we are following that trajectory. However, we are at a critical resistance again, and we're on the underside of it and we're consolidating at 23,600. So what happens when we consolidate? Well, it generally means that it's going to move one of two ways, up or down. No surprise. However, depending on which side of the resistance or support we are on, can be quite telling, especially when we have a pattern per se. And the pattern that we seem to be forming here is somewhat of a bearish pennant. But essentially, all it means is it's consolidating with pretty much diminishing volume, which we're seeing here. And we're coming to the end of this bearish pennant. And as you can see, we are starting to test and break out down here. We have a few other underlying bearish factors in that we flipped the 20 DMA. There's an incoming McFly signal. We have consolidation under key resistance. We've lost an ascending trend line support, which is this big key support here. And arguably for me, that is the big one. Now we've lost this ascending wedge. That is more of a longer term macro move. So I don't know if we're going to go down to 22.6k or even worse down to 20k. Because as well as that, we've also got a weekly incoming McFly bearish signal. And this is quite significant of a bearish pullback. And it's on the weekly as well. But we do have some bullish pressure in there as well, which is quite nice. And interestingly, and most interestingly, we actually have a daily bullish divergence. So it could pop back up, but the reality is everything is looking still quite bearish. So don't worry guys, we've got you covered on the portfolio. But let's take a look at it. First up, we've got Ape. And we have actually filled our first safety order here, but we're not going to go pop in another safety order below that because I kind of want to see where we land. Like I said, there is a bit more of a macro move going on here. But for all being said, Ape has actually shown some resilience to it all, and it's pumped pretty hard. And this is really significant of what I'm talking about. Ape moves. When we see volume coming into the market, Ape moves hard. Let's take a look first of all at BNB and how that's going. And that has not been going well in the past hour or so. In fact, it has dumped actually about 2%, which is not ideal for the BNB long trade, but that is exactly why we have it hedged with the BNB down. And we are almost in profit there, finally, after quite some time. We've gone down, well, we have been down with the latest safety order up to 25%. And now we're only down 2.3%. So this is a testament to show you that DCA does work quite well. BNB down is working at 3x, so this actual movement downwards is not that bad. It's only 2.5%, but we have actually made up 7.5% on the down token. Additionally, we also opened a BTC down trade as well, because like I said, if we're bearish, if we're convinced that BTC is going down, why wouldn't we open a short? We have actually got quite a big target on this one at 9%. Ignore these are just a little trade idea that I had, TP1, TP2, if you do want to follow along, there's the targets. And of course, we've always got a long in BTC. We have been in this one for quite some time, and we have not either hit a safety order 1 or obviously the take profit. But I do feel like we're going to go down, and even if we do go down all the way to 22k, it doesn't really matter because we won't even have hit our first safety order yet. But it's BTC, so we pretty much perpetually want to trade in this outside of us getting to an all-time high. BGLD is a great project, and we wanted to get a position in there as well, especially when we're down kind of near the bottom of the market. We've finally just filled a safety order on this one, but we're not going to be placing, as per Ape as well, any further safety orders here, just because we want to see just where this lands, and we can activate them manually as well as placing them, so not too worried. IOTX we actually placed today. Why? Because look at this. You know, it's had a double top up here and it's come right down. And we might actually see a bit of a bounce up, but most likely we are probably going to head down, probably more towards the 3383 support region down here. But again, it doesn't matter. We can be a little bit knife catchy with DCAs, and that's the kind of the great stuff of it. But if not, then we've got another strong support in lie down here. So ultimately, we'll probably start to open about one long position a day-ish, depending on how the market goes and where we land each day. Maybe leave the weekend off, but at the end of the day, we don't want to be too fearful, and we don't want to be too scared of opening positions. Like I said, you know, with all of our models, everything that the on-chain analysis is saying is we are nearing the bottom of the market, if not at the bottom. So we do want to be leaning heavily into DCA. This is where DCA comes into its absolute element, because we can be knife catchy. We can get somewhere in and around the bottom. And if we perceive that we're there with very, very low exposure from the get-go, then it makes sense to be accumulating these good, strong positions. And who knows, we might even start to increase our TPs somewhat more. Similarly to KDA, we did actually hit safety order 2, and we're looking pretty bearish on this, certainly in the short term. Remember, we're not looking at the long-term macro here. We are looking at the relative short term and basing a lot of our opinion on what BTC is doing. So I do expect KDA to go down, and that could sink a fair bit. So we are going to lie and wait to see where that lands. Clay actually just clipped a safety order 1, and it brought the average buy price right on down. This isn't actually looking too bad, you know, like we could be arguing that this is a bit of a bearish retest and we could sink down, but if we keep a bit of a foothold, this can ping straight back up. LDO, one of those assets that I'm just not worried about at all. You know, like you see this kind of pump that's just happened here. This is when BTC showed a little bit of strength, and I'm expecting a very similar thing. I'm going to leave this safety order 2 just here and let that get filled and bring the average buy price down, because I feel that's a kind of asset that will pump and go straight into profit. Link down is a pure example. I just want to show you pretty much where we got into this trade, which was somewhere up here. And we sunk all the way down as far as around about 53% down. But with only 4 safety orders and a coordinated one just there, we ended up taking 5% profit on it. So this, again, is just demonstrating the power of DCA. 53% down, and then we ended up, over the course, inside a month, right back into 5% profit. And all that is, it's just good work with your allocation and also coordinated safety buys, and you can actually make quite a lot of profit off that as well. So we're making profit on longs in bear markets. I mean, who'd have thunk it? LPT, this is my FOMO trades. All in all, not looking too bad. We've broken down the other side of this ascending wedge, not particularly ideal, but we're going to leave this safety order 3 just down here at the bottom of this key resistance. All in all, you know, we do have on the longer term an actual breakout. We don't particularly want to be breaking down but too much below this $10, well, $10 significantly, because that's such a psychological support. But all being well, I think that's going to pump pretty hard when BTC shows some strength, which can hear me say that a lot, because at the end of the day, BTC does hold around about, at the moment, about 42% of the dominance, and it will most likely get up to about 48% once this kind of little bearish move plays out. So yes, you've got to pay attention to BTC. Mana, like with all the assets, not looking ever so great. We have broken down. We've got some sort of like, I wouldn't say bearish flag, but bearish pennant more say. And we have broken through the 20 and the 50 DEMA. But also in the same breath, we have only not even filled 1 safety order on that just yet. Oh no, we have filled 1 safety order on it. And that was actually at 7.5%, which is why it threw me off. There you go. I recently changed the first safety order from 10% to 7.5% to be a little bit more aggressive. So that when in this current volatile market, if we do get these random flash pumps, we're actually closing the trades. Mina is sad, very, very sad. Why are you not pumping, Mina? We currently do only have 1 safety order on there, so that's actually not in terribly bad shape. I thought it was going to be worse. To be honest, I thought we'd have hit this safety order by now. Unfortunately, I don't have all of the safety orders memorized off the top of my head.
That's why we have the wonders of technology. But we have our second safety order down here, which is a very key support. Could arguably drop it down there, but I don't want to be in a scenario where it taps it and then shoots back up and we miss it. You do want to be filling those safety orders if you have conviction on them. Sand is not looking great. This is a very, very, very bearish looking short-term move. So as you can see, we're pretty much doing identical to what BTC is doing. We're just consolidating underneath. So I do expect this to track down. We've got a safety order provisional waiting there. I haven't actually set it yet. I'm just going to wait again to see what the next few days plays out, because I think there is a small chance, only a small chance, that BTC could just pump out of nowhere, but everything is showing pretty bearish signs. Now this is quite interesting actually. I've not seen this until literally this candle here. If we're to take the head and shoulders tool just here, look at that. That is quite interesting. I'm not gonna lie though, like a lot of the head and shoulders patterns I've been seeing lately have just completely failed and become invalidated right about this point as well. But that being said, we could pump into profit there. Sadly, we didn't fill a safety order. This is exactly what I'm talking about. If we would have had a 7.5% safety order, the average buy price would have been down, and so would also the take profit, which means it would have put, if this would have been coming up to where a potential inverse head and shoulders target is, then we could have been taking pretty decent profit. But hey, sad. I'm not going to go forcing a safety order through for the sake of this inverse head and shoulders on the 1 hour that, quite frankly, a lot of them have been invalidated. So I'm not resting any of my remortgaged house on this. Not that I've remortgaged my house, but you know what I mean. Not taking out any loans. SRM, good project, but it's not looking particularly great like anything on technical analysis at the moment. And TRX down, we are seeing a little bit of strength. Now, not as much. It seems to be one of the assets that seems to be holding pretty well against BTC. Although inevitably, if we do see a dump or a crash in BTC, I'm fully expecting this to go pretty hard with it all. But like I said, TRX is quite well supported through other means, so it doesn't necessarily have to rely so heavily on this, what BTC is doing. Yeah, it's a good project, really, really good project. And then last but not least, XRP. I opened this trade today, which is why I do not have a TP on it, and we are currently at break even, so this is going to be nice and easy to plot. 5% is the standard, and then 7.5%. We actually closed this trade, as you can see just here, in profit. Not much profit, but in profit, just because we were expecting quite some violent volatility, potential bearish volatility ahead of all of the announcements on Wednesday. So we wanted to limit some exposure just in case we did see a bit of a black swan event. All of these assets that we're in, they had a lot of good technical reasons behind them, but also they carry a lot of good fundamental basis as well. Some have some good news as well. But for the most part, we don't have to worry too much. Eventually the market will go back up, unless you're Luna. And DCA is there for that, it will always catch you. So whilst we might not be making daily profit on longs right now, it is a bearish short-term market, but I'll tell you the secret to trading, and it's patience. So if you've got patience on your side, you've got good allocation on your side, you've got good market exposure on your side, you're going to end up in a good place. But of course, if you want to follow along automatically, hands off the keyboard, with this strategy, with all of these trades and everything like that, then just follow the BigWick Energy bot on Miser, which is exclusive to it. You can hit up our website for referral links there, so you can get even further discount off the volume fees. Also, you can find a free trial to our premium service there, 7-day free trial, get access to all the channels, all of the indicators, and you've got to leave no details or anything like that at all. We won't bother you unless you want to sign up for premium, which is great. Of course, give us a like and a subscribe. It makes us warm and fuzzy, and it makes us want to do way more of these videos. Until next time, guys.